Denmark, a peaceful, picturesque country, famous for all things Danish. With a beautiful climate, healthy people, and for 1 week in the summer, Glasgow Rangers. The quiet seaside town of Vedbæk, near the Danish capital Copenhagen, was the Rangers' base for a pre-season tour which came just 2 weeks before their European opener against Russian league leaders Alanya Vladikavkaz at Ibrox. And manager Walter Smith knew reaching the Champions League proper would be tough.
It's a vital part of our build-up. We play against the Russian champions Vladikavkaz. I think that's the way you say it anyway. And we play them in a preliminary round. They're in their season, they're playing in a league at the present moment. So our aim is to try and get the boys to as competitive a level as we possibly can do in a short period of time that we have. So we've deliberately taken good games when we came here. The Danish sides are also in their season at the present moment. And in FC Copenhagen and Aalborg, we're playing two very good sides. Also, Brian Laudrup and Erik Bo Andersen are popular players within Denmark. So we get good crowds when we play against Danish teams, and that helps create an atmosphere, if you like, and try and bring out the best in the players. But I think the most essential thing is that we do get really competitive matches.
Manager Smith's first close season move to strengthen Rangers was the signing of Hamburg captain George Alberts for more than £4 million.
He's a left midfield player, and I felt that we needed that balance in the team. All the boys that we've got playing now are all right-sided, and we needed that to give us a better balance in the middle of the park. He was one that had been recommended to us, so we were able to watch him over the second half of last season, and we were very impressed with what we saw. Not only is he a good player, but he was the captain of Hamburg, so he's got good attitude and good leader as well. He also plays a number of positions important for us. We know right from the very start of this season that Davy Robertson will be out, so we were missing somebody on the left-hand side. So George can go and play in that area and cover for us until Davy's back fit again.
The first match of the tour took place in Denmark's National Stadium against FC Copenhagen, who were just a week away from the start of their league championship. Rangers needed the match practice, having played only one pre-season game in Scotland, a 3-1 win against Clyde. As Walter Smith and Archie Knox made their final team preparations, the travelling Rangers support were making themselves at home. Out come Rangers, and it really is an amazing atmosphere for this match. Pre-season friendlies so often played to very disappointing attendances, but there's a huge turnout from the Danes, and not surprising really when you consider that Erik Bo Andersen and Brian Laudrup are big parts of the Rangers team. As is this man, the captain, Richard Gough, such an inspirational figure for Rangers as they target 9 in a row this season. And before the match, meeting the match officials, meeting the Copenhagen mascot, and also meeting the Copenhagen captain, who is Henrik Larsson, famous figure in Danish football and also a well-known man round about European football as well. Gordon Jury and Brian Laudrup get it underway for Rangers, and John Brown wearing number 3. That's a shirt which is likely to be worn by George Alberts in the coming season, at least until the return of David Robertson, but not tonight. And it's a sprightly start from Copenhagen. Joachim Bjorklund was doing the covering, one of Rangers' new summer signings. It's a testing start this for Rangers, struggling to get to the pace of the game at this stage. And there's Gough with the important header. That's Jesper Sorensen wearing 6, and number 8 is Jorn Hjulbjerg. Copenhagen play a patient European style of game, and this is useful to Rangers with the game against Alanya Vladikavkaz coming up at Ibrox, and Rangers will be prepared for a team who will try to hold on to the ball for much of the game and try to frustrate Rangers. So this is very useful for Walter Smith and his team. Martin Falsch. Here's Larsson, the captain. Goldbeck dispossessed, and Gordon Jury, who had such an impressive second half of last season for Rangers, and of course his appearances for Scotland in the European Championship finals, looking to build on that as the new season gets underway. Again, it's all Copenhagen in these early stages. Richard Gough will just let that one run through, and Andy Gorham taking this match very seriously. Important that he gets his eye in at this early stage of the season with the European preliminary match coming up. Here's Alec Cleland, back to Gordan Petric, and all the way back to Andy Gorham. It's Petric, Gough and Bjorklund, the back three. And there's Ian Ferguson and Stuart McCall at the heart of the Rangers midfield. Paul Gascoigne suspended for the first European match, so Rangers making alternative plans. There's a good change of direction from Charlie Miller, looking for reinforcements. Here's Ferguson, and an early touch for Brian Laudrup. Well, the opposition know all about him. It was typical elusive runs, and he was brought to the ground and wins Rangers an early free kick. Looks to take it quickly. Here's John Brown, and at the byline, charged down by Thomas Schoenemann. And it's Copenhagen now on the counter with Bjorn Goldbeck. But again, the match slowed down to the pace at which Copenhagen want to play it. Sorensen infield to Larsson. Bjorklund doing the marking job on Mate Sestan. There's good control from Byrne, headed away by Gough. Stuart McCall couldn't quite get there, and there's a good shot from Henrik Larsson. Didn't have too much time to think about it. It just climbed too high for him, and it eventually went over the top of Andy Gorham's crossbar. Here's Falsch, very much the build-up man at the back for Copenhagen. There's Martin Nielsen. Rangers getting back behind the ball. Sorensen. It's useful possession football, this, from Copenhagen. Number 7 is Goldbeck. That return pass to Nielsen. This is a dangerous position, and the shot there from Morten Nielsen, saved by Andy Gorham at the second attempt. Not entirely comfortable, and Rangers will be alarmed at the room Nielsen was given. Here's Bjorklund, aimed at Gordon Jury. Managed to direct the header towards Ian Ferguson. Took the return pass from Alec Cleland, but he was always under a bit of pressure. Can Gordon Jury keep that in? Not quite. Nielsen to Sorensen. It's certainly Copenhagen who are looking the more menacing as they go forward. The danger there cut out by Gordan Petric. Henrik Larsson was looking for that, but it was won by Petric. Ian Ferguson goes chasing. Free kick given against the Rangers man for an over a physical challenge for the high ball. Free kick will be taken by Goldbeck. Plenty of reinforcements in the penalty area. There's Larsson, and the goal from Sestan. Rangers are one down. It was Henrik Larsson who caused the trouble in the box. The ball broke for Sestan, and that's with 9 minutes on the clock. Rangers one down. Brown looking for McCall. That's loose stuff from Rangers. Definite signs of rustiness in these early stages. Ian Ferguson, that's dangerous. Cut out by Bjorklund, and he is shirt tugged in the process and wins the free kick. Richard Gough shouting encouragement to his teammates, trying to drive Rangers forward. Rangers really just want to keep possession, feel the ball and play themselves back into the match. Stuart McCall. Back from Laudrup. It's now Rangers who are playing the patient stuff. Brian Laudrup injects some pace. Alec Cleland. Well, it was a useful position, but couldn't quite pull it back for Jury in the middle. Here's Henrik Larsson. He's at the heart of most things for Copenhagen going forward. Falsch. And now Goldbeck. Larsson takes a return away from Stuart McCall. Shooting opportunity for Sorensen. Struck it well. Andy Gorham happy in the end that it went over the top. May have got a touch indeed to that, Andy Gorham. It was well struck by Sorensen and it needed those fingertips to touch it over. Gorham not looking entirely happy under the corner kick. It's Alec Cleland who hacks it clear, but Copenhagen still have possession. Goldbeck under pressure from Laudrup. And up and under from Morten Nielsen. And it's Ian Ferguson's header, which releases Laudrup. Where's the support? That's a good tackle from Nielsen, but can't quite get the ball away from Laudrup. That's a problem lots of Scottish defenders know all about. Finally, let's go back. A challenge from Charlie Miller, not giving this one up. Copenhagen always seem to have plenty of numbers. Goldbeck again, switching play to the left this time. Sorensen. First time from Larsson to Sorensen. Goldbeck, shooting opportunity here. It's cannoned off Richard Gough. And again for the Rangers captain. Charlie Miller knows he may have a battle on his hands this season to hold down a regular first team spot, so that's a useful opportunity for him. John Brown asking a lot of Charlie Miller, although it's broken kindly for Ian Ferguson. Brian Laudrup offside. Here's Schoenemann. Return from Sorensen. That was an important intervention there from Goran Petric. And he's racing forward. But Stuart McCall picks out Laudrup instead. Charlie Miller's in the middle. Laudrup teasing and tormenting his fellow countryman. There's Jury. Knocks it back looking for Charlie Miller. That was promising from Rangers. They haven't really caused too many problems in the penalty area for Copenhagen. But that was certainly one such incident, with Brian Laudrup managing to pull the ball across. And there's Bjorklund back for a throw. Cleland, Laudrup. Alec Cleland again. Know each other's games pretty well, these two, Laudrup and Cleland. So often partners on the right hand side for Rangers. Sorensen with the touch. They give it away. Ferguson. Charlie Miller. This is promising for Rangers. And that's a disappointing end. Charlie Miller holds his head because Gordon Jury was in the middle, unmarked, waiting for the cutback. Sorensen. Ulbjerg. Stuart McCall not giving him much peace. Now Bjorklund has to be decisive here because Morten Nielsen was hanging about for any error, and it was Andy Gorham off his line who finally clutched the ball as Rangers looked a bit shaky in defence. Now they've time to build here. Petric. Stuart McCall always available. And Laudrup. Much will hinge on Brian Laudrup and the early European ties with Paul Gascoigne suspended. Here's McCall. Useful shooting opportunity. Struck it well, just a shade too high. Doesn't score too many goals, Stuart McCall. But he managed to get in behind Larsson and he hit that well. Bjorklund, Gough and then Petric. Looks likely to be the Rangers' back three as they start the season. Charlie Miller just couldn't pull that pass from Gordon Jury down. But Jury does well to win it back. Call, that's a neat play, wins himself some space. Here's Laudrup. Charlie Miller! What a chance that was for Miller. I don't think he realised he'd quite so much time. He tried the first time header, and when you look at this replay, he really had time to pull this down and have a shot at goal. Copenhagen into the second half, still with the 1-goal lead. There's Goldbeck, and Larsson was static and Richard Goff was not. Richard Goff racing forward. You can see his determination to get Rangers back into the match. The pass from substitute McCoist. Back in from Goff. There's Ali McCoist. And that was Eric Bo Anderson with the shot, which was charged down. The Dane on as a second half sub. Lots of appetite for the action, as you can see from this. Rangers have made several changes, one of which was number 16 there, Derek McInnes, and Ali McCoist working himself a shooting position. Didn't quite catch it, and it was straight at Niemi as well. Ali disappointed, but always a potent striking threat. Now here comes Karsten Hallam, substitute for Copenhagen. Richard Goff did well. Manages to give it away now though. Oldbjerg, and the shot from Goldbeck. He can certainly hit them, and Andy Gorham had to dive to his left to save. Goldbeck again. His promptings are a key part of the Copenhagen plan. Martin Byrne with the attempted cross, and Bjorklund conceded the corner kick. Well, it was the header from Karsten Hallam, but couldn't really get the direction on it. No great threat. Here come the Danes again. It's Matti Sistan who scored the goal. Well played by Goff. Looked as if he was going to hit it clear, and then realised he'd time to cushion it on his chest. Some of his teammates not quite showing the same sort of decisiveness in the middle. So for the free kick, it's Lars Høyer, the second half substitute for Copenhagen. He's taking an amazing run up for this. He's going to have a crack. And it was some effort, back off Andy Gorham's crossbar. Well, the run up proved to be worthwhile. He really connected with that. And eventually the corner kick conceded by Greg Shields, but that was some strike from Høyer. The Rangers breathe a sigh of relief. Larsson with the keepy up. And Sorensen with the throw. Attacked by Goff. And that's the final whistle. And Rangers have lost by a 0-0 to FC Copenhagen. But a useful match for them, and particularly for new signing Joachim Bjorklund.
We've got a lot of recommendations for players at the present moment, and he was one of them. Although he's only 24, he's played 44 times for Sweden, so he's got terrific experience for someone so young. We needed, again, through Alan McLaren being out at the start of the season through injury, and Craig Moore being out through injury as well. We needed cover in that centre half position, and I felt, well, instead of maybe buying someone who can just come in and out of the team, why not go and try and get someone who can come in and play on a regular basis? And Joachim can do that, and he's settled into the team very well so far, and it looked as though, alongside Richard Goff and Gordon Pretridge, that he's played there for a few seasons, so I think that's to his credit.
Before training the next day, some of the Rangers players arranged to go fishing, with experienced angler Paul Gascoigne handing out some free advice to the novices. Some of the squad weren't so enthusiastic about a trip on the ocean waves, preferring to keep their feet on dry land. Eventually, even Fergie was persuaded aboard, and they set off to the fishing grounds off Vedbeck. The journey would last about an hour, and when you're cooped up on a boat, you have to make your own entertainment, if that's not being a bit shellfish.
race is from, right? We're having a race. Which way?
Six up for the field.
First in the line, right? Go! Go! Stop!
They move sideways.
I enjoyed the fishing. I caught the first one, and I said to the guys that when we got it up, it was bigger than the ones we got last year, and it ended up being the smallest. Andy Gorham got a massive one. In fact, it looked a little bit like Dodgy. The cod that were brought up had the same sort of face.
Oh, look at this! Oh, look at this! Dodgy! God, you beauty!
Hang on, stop. Three of us have got it. Three of us have got it. Three of us have got it. Someone let go of the line. Let go of the line, Fergie. Come here. Yeah, goalie. Go in there, Pat. We've all got it. Right, that's it. It is impossible for that to escape. Charlie? Well, Paul. Nice deal.
Get out, Lee! Johnny, wait to see this. That hat thing! Thank you for You've got the best of it. Oh, I've lost it.
Prolific. Prolific.
That is it. It's the same one, Kirsty.
After catch of the day, it was back to training. Walter Smith was taking the opportunity to gauge the squad's fitness, particularly those players who'd been involved in June's European Championship.
And very difficult for full international players at the present moment. They have to play for 11, maybe just over 11 months of every season, and at club level we have to make sure that not only are they physically fit, but their mental approach to the game is good as well. So it's something that we take into consideration during the season. I think one thing it does do is that although they've had that month's break, when they come back, they look very good actually. They don't need the same amount of training as some of the lads who had a 7-week break there, and they maintain an edge in the early part of the season. I think if there's any dangers at all, it comes later in the season. But that's part of our job, we have to look at that. And we've had to handle that situation over a few seasons at Rangers, and I think we've done that quite successfully. So I don't see any great difference this time.
The mood of the tourists changed dramatically the following day when the Rangers players and officials found out about the death of former manager Jock Wallace. Big Jock was a Rangers fan through and through and will forever be remembered as one of the club's most successful managers. He had 2 spells at Ibrox. In the first, he guided the team to 2 trebles.
I think everybody that was here was sad to hear. Obviously, the Scottish boys among the squad know Jock well, although only Ali McCoist and Ian Durant of our group actually played under Jock. If somebody like myself who was starting out to think about coaching and management at the late 60s, early part of the 70s, Jock made his name there, and it was obviously to the forefront of everything in Scottish football. And he was a real Rangers man, and I think that it's a big blow when that kind of thing happens. He was always on the phone, even from his house in Spain. If ever we got a couple of bad results, he would always offer a bit of advice, and it was always sound advice as well. And any time he was home in Scotland, he was always into the park for a cup of tea and maybe a bite to eat. And we'll miss him dropping in.
On one visit to his beloved Ibrox, he met up with 3 of his former players, Tommy McLean, Davy Cooper and John Gregg. Jock's passion for Rangers had been unaffected by the passing years.
I was born a Blue Rose and I'll die one. That's the way I feel about it. I think it's an immense stadium. I think the man David Murray has done a great job with this club, and he's going to go into great things for the club. And I've told Walter Smith, I told Asnox a year and a half ago, so you're going to do trebles and doubles and win European Cups for this club and for Scotland. And I believe that to be true.
Supporters showed how much they felt for Jock Willis by placing their tributes at the gates of Ibrox. To the fans, the big man was one of their own.
You can't say much more about the big man apart from his brilliant. That's it, and that's all. Guy was different class. That's nothing else I really can say. It was a sad day, very sad day.
The Wallace years at Ibrox were highly successful years. Winning trophies became a happy habit. At Rangers, he goes down as one of the greats.
As long as I can draw breath, I want to be a Blue Rose. It's as simple as that.
A minute's silence before the second game of the Denmark tour against Aalborg, who missed out on last season's Danish championship by just a point. So they're more than handy, and it's another tough encounter this for Rangers, which is exactly how Walter Smith wanted it. Derek McInnes there aiming for McCoist. Rangers had a shaky start to the first match of the tour against Copenhagen, and keen to be a bit more convincing in this match. Here's Goff to Petric. And Derek McInnes playing in the right wing-back position. That's well won by Ali McCoist. Through for Erik Bo Anderson, and that was Lars Vinde, the Aalborg goalkeeper, smartly off his line to foil his fellow countryman. Bjorklund. And McCoist head flick. But Aalborg were back there in numbers. Some chasing here for Ian Durant to do. Rasmussen trying to find himself some space at the edge of the box. That was a good tackle from Stuart McCall. And finally it's Durant back to Gorham. Bjorklund again picking out Ali McCoist. Some gymnastics from him to keep possession, but the pass didn't quite link up with Brian Laudrup. Well, that's loose play in defence from Aalborg, which concedes the corner. Laudrup, Petric's header is saved, and McCoist. Ali McCoist gives Rangers the lead. He took his time and he crashed that one into the roof of the net. It was Petric who caused the aerial problems from the corner kick, and as ever, Ali McCoist was there to say thanks very much. It will be interesting to see the response to that goal from Aalborg. Richard Goff cuts out the immediate danger there. Here's McInnes. Over-ambitious and loses possession. A combination of Goff and Bjorklund cutting out the threat there, but it was really the way that possession was relinquished by McInnes which was the worry for Rangers. Chance now to atone. Here's Durant. That's aimed at George Albert, asking a lot of the former Hamburg skipper, but he kept it in well. Linking well in these early days as a Ranger. Here's Brian Laudrup, who's settled into the Rangers team long ago. Good ball this for Derek McInnes. McCoist in the middle. Charge down and the chance goes a-begging. He's scored once already. He's looking pretty sharp, Ali, at this stage of the season. Good ball in from McInnes. Rangers working hard, closing down. Back comes Brian Laudrup. And it was Stuart McCall who made the challenge, which freed the ball for the Dane. Ian Durant running ahead, taking the pass from Ali McCoist, and Ian Durant taken out of the play. Free kick to Rangers. The five-man Aalborg wall is positioned, taken quickly by Laudrup. And Stuart McCall couldn't quite get there, but it was good thinking from Laudrup. Goran Petric with the defensive header, and Erik Bo Anderson feeds Brian Laudrup. Alberts is on the outside. Here he is, he's got bags of room, and that's a disappointing end to the move. It wasn't really a cross which troubled Vinda, the goalkeeper, and Alberts certainly got himself into a very dangerous position there. Now it's the Aalborg corner this time. Andy Gorham with the cap on to try and keep the sun out of his eyes. Away from Erik Bo Anderson. And there's Richard Goff. Danger over for now for Rangers. Laudrup keeping possession almost incredibly at times. Aalborg have it now. Ian Durant dispossessed. Was that offside? Yes, it was. Bjorklund to Alberts, the two new arrivals at Ibrox during the summer. He really does get up and down the left side, does George Alberts. McCoist to Laudrup. Away from his marker. There's the touch from McCoist to McCall, but neither the power nor the direction behind that will trouble Vinda. Bjorklund sticking to his man. Patient building play from Aalborg, trying to work the opening. Rasmussen. Now here's Thomas Berg. Struck that well, but straight at Andy Gorham. Not too much of a problem for the Rangers goalkeeper. Tried the quick clearance to Erik Bo Anderson. But possession is back with the Danes. Teasing Rangers, trying to frustrate the Ibrox team, but Rangers are one up. Here's Kruger. Well, not shy at trying the shots from outside the box, but Andy Gorham will lap up those sort of efforts. Erik Bo Anderson doing the chasing job, trying to close Aalborg down as they play the ball across the back. There's Rasmussen. Tackled by Richard Goff, just waited his chance there. But Rasmussen waited for his chance as well. That was a good cross. And Anderson's shot charged down on the goal line by Richard Goff. It had beaten Andy Gorham, and Goff in the right place at the right time. Into the second half, here's substitute Ian Ferguson. It's a loose one which Ian Durant couldn't get on the end of. Bjorklund is beaten, And Andy Gorham thankful for the outside of his left-hand post. The shot just clipping it as it went wide. Anderson, Aalborg seem to be gaining a bit of confidence. Richard Goff's under pressure. There's the cut back, and Simonsen. What an opportunity that was. He really should have put that shot on target when the ball was played back to him, trying to place it into the top corner, and it was too high. Rangers will be keen to stifle the threat of the Danish team, who certainly have the upper hand at the moment, playing a lot of nice possession football. They've shown already that they know what to do when they get it near the goal. Good control from Rasmussen. Sorensen, it's off the upright, and Andy Gorham, and again. And the final shot clips the top of the crossbar. Rangers really living dangerously there, and thankful to Andy Gorham here for the spectacular diving stop. And then when the rebound was hammered in, again saved with his legs, and finally the shot over the top. McInnes to Laudrup. Brian Laudrup, that injection of pace, but not quite enough there. Well, he was surrounded by 3 markers at the time. An hour gone in the match. What can Aalborg do here? Cleared by Petric and hammered in by Soren Andersen. It's 1-1. Rangers caught at the back. The quick counter-attack. Petric got it away, but not quite well enough. And that was a decisive finish from Andersen. How will Rangers respond? Here's Bo Anderson. Ferguson, McCoist. There's Ian Ferguson again. Couldn't get the power there. But keeper Vinda looked as if he got his fingertips to it. And so it's Laudrup with the corner for Rangers. A head flick from Erik Bo Anderson, but it didn't fall for Ali McCoist, which looked to be the intention. Some travelling Rangers fans enjoying the sunshine, maybe not entirely happy with the scoreline. Aalborg have equalised. Asking questions of the Rangers defence again. Bjorklund made the intervention, laid off by Erik Bo Anderson. Here's Ian Ferguson. McCoist. Good ball for Brian Laudrup. He's looking up at the options in the middle. There's the cross. Erik Bo Anderson off the line by Vinda. It's an amazing scramble, and that looked as if it crossed the line. Well, maybe the 3rd or 4th attempt there from Erik Bo Anderson, but breathes a sigh of relief. He eventually squeezed it in, and Rangers retake the lead. It was a spectacular save, firstly from the goalkeeper. Then he got in all sorts of trouble with his defender on the line. The keeper would have had it were it not for that defender, but Erik Bo Anderson made sure it crossed the line. Rangers would now love to make this result safe. Still a chance that Aalborg can play themselves back into the game. Charlie Miller reacting badly to the challenge just outside the box. He's got the free kick, but he didn't care for the challenge. Ian Durant will take it. There's Gordan Petric, and Petric has scored for Rangers. Loads of time with the header, and he placed it perfectly. Ian Durant's free kick, and there was Petric, decisive. So the Rangers fans who've travelled here well happy now with the scoreline. That would appear to make the result safe, but Rangers still have a few minutes to hold out against Aalborg. Ian Ferguson backtracking, and Bjorklund having to do some penalty box defending, and Greg Shields too. What an important sliding tackle that was, as Aalborg threatened to pull the goal back. Here's John Brown. He'll use his experience to help Rangers through the closing stages. He's taken a knock there for his trouble too. Amazingly manages to keep possession. Still has it. But John Brown's in trouble and looking towards the touchline as if he wants to come off. Meanwhile, Charlie Miller wrestling his way through. Eric Bo Anderson. Here's Jury. Injection of pace and saved by the legs of Vinda. Jury himself with the corner kick. Not too menacing for Aalborg. Ferguson. Jury again, looking for Charlie Miller. He was pretty well policed in the area. Jury not giving it up. Here's Miller. Ian Ferguson. It's a spectacular effort. The overhead kick, not too much of a problem for Vinda. It's certainly worth a crack and certainly on target. Aalborg with the corner away from Greg Shields. The Danes really need to do something quite quickly to have any chance of rescuing something from this game. Onside is Sorensen, saved by Gorham, and the rebound over the top. All sorts of recriminations after that. Andy Gorham furious, making his feelings known to the linesman because he reckoned this was offside. Wasn't given, and it was certainly some chance. A great save by Gorham. Rangers funneling back again, looking for the final whistle. 3-1 they lead. Tackled by Petric, and that's a free kick. It was a clumsy one more than anything else. And so Aalborg have the free kick. Rangers organise. It's Johnny Molby who looks as if he's shaping to hit this. 4 minutes left. Here comes Molby. Struck it well, off Andy Gorham, off Joachim Björklund, and into his own net. So it's an own goal, which makes the score 3-2 now in Rangers' favour. It's been a great workout this for the Ibrox team. They've really had to work for what will be their win, should they hold out for these final few seconds. In fact, there goes the referee's final whistle, and Rangers have beaten Aalborg by 3-2. Pat on the back from the captain for Ian Durant, and Eric Bo Anderson scoring against his old club and happy to be a Ranger.
If you have something with your football and go further, you always hope that a club like Glasgow Rangers will sign you, but one thing is hope, one thing is reality, and I'm real glad that I went to reality so I can be here for a pre-season towards the Champions League, because I came at a very difficult time and were not match fit when I actually came at Ibrox, so I'm looking forward to a full season.
Oh, the blue books are blue. Yes, Rangers official handbook, 100 pages packed with league and fixture information for the new season. Reports from David Murray, Walter Smith and Richard Gough. The Wee Blue Book, the source for all league and competition information. A must for all true blues. A definitive guide to Rangers Football Club. The blue books are blue and on sale now throughout the stadium on match days or from the Rangers shop. Priced only £1.50.
tour so far had not only provided vital match practice, but had helped to integrate the new team members into the way Rangers work.
It's pretty important because, you know, when you come away, especially with new players, it's important for them to fit into the system and get them used to playing with us. And it's been good from that point of view. You know, the lads like George Alberts and Joachim Bjorklund, you know, have played most of the games and they fitted in well, you know. The bunch of lads that we've got here, a good bunch of lads, you know, and I don't think even the lads coming in have said to me, have remarked how close everyone seems to be, you know, compared to the other clubs they've been at. And I think that's because, you know, there's a certain core of us who have been here for a certain length of time, and we know each other very well, we know each other inside out, and you know, that definitely helps.
During the close season, there had been a great deal of speculation about a new striker coming to Rangers. But Walter Smith decided his priorities for improving the team lay elsewhere.
Yeah, people keep talking about that. I've already mentioned that we had a situation this year where before a ball was kicked, before we'd even started pre-season training, Craig Moore, Davy Robertson, Al McLaren are all ruled out to into September. One of the most important things about anybody's league season just now and European aspirations are that the games all come at the start of the season. We'll have these players missing for what are very, very important matches for us. So when we were going into the transfer market, we had to consider that, and it was vital for us, both in our league championship campaign and both for a qualification for the Champions League, to get off to as good a start as we possibly can. And I felt that you know, if I had spent all the money that we had on a striker, we would have been leaving ourselves very short at the back. As I've already explained, George Alberts can fill in Davy Robertson's position, although it's not his natural position. And Joachim Bjorklund can play any of the back positions for us. So we needed that kind of cover. There would have been no point in going out spending all our money on a striker and then finding we were weak at the back and losing goals at the back, and you know, and a new striker having to settle in. So there were strikers available, but they were costing an awful lot of money this season, and I felt that our money would be better spent elsewhere, which is what I've done.
In wet conditions, the final match of the tour then against the First Division side Fremad Amager of Copenhagen. The stadium certainly not Ibrox, but even in these modest surroundings, Rangers treating their hosts with the respect due to unknown opposition. Rangers in their change strip against the blue-shirted Danes. They're certainly giving the match a lively start. Charged down there by Alec Cleland, conceding the corner kick as Rangers try to settle. Here's Peter Ostergaard for the home team, but not the sort of effort that's going to pose too many problems for Theo Snelders. Well, it's a familiar Danish style of build-up. It's patient, it's all about passing. But Rangers are working hard at closing down. Ian Durant doing the harrying. And now Derek McInnes wins it well. Here's Van Vossen, a chance and a goal. Rangers in front. And that will be sweet for Peter Van Vossen. Never mind the opposition. He needs some goals and needs some confidence after a fairly unconvincing entrance to the Rangers team last season. So Van Vossen scores and Rangers 1-up. Here's Alberts. Ali McCoy's looking for it. Here's Van Vossen again, and he's done it again. Spectacular finish there from the Dutchman. He looked as if he was trying to pull it back, but it ended up in the far corner, and Rangers 2 ahead. So Bo Nielsen, the Danish keeper, knows already he's going to have a busy time. And it'll be even busier if his teammates give it away as easily as that. Derek McInnes, signed from Morton last season, adapting well. Durant takes the return from Van Vossen. Ian Durant, can he make it? Yes, he can. Ali McCoist was there looking for scraps, but it went in from Durant. 3 to Rangers. Just waited for that ball to go into his stride and then chipped it over the advancing Nielsen. Richard Goff trying to get back as the rain continues to pour down. Snelders untroubled. Bjorklund. Ian Durrant with time to turn. Play the ball through for McCoist. Van Vossen looking for the cut back, but Ali McCoist wins the corner. Van Vossen looking for the shooting chance. Alberts, what a save by Nielsen. McCoist, and finally hacked clear. Good bit of goalkeeping from Nielsen because Georges Alberts really caught the shot. There's Durrant's corner kick, and in from McCoist. Well, it's an unusual day when Rangers have scored 3 and McCoist hasn't got one of them, but number 4 was all his from close range. Here's Mark Mladenovic trying to make things happen in the middle for Amager. Now Thomas Mortensen, what can he do? Good shots. Snelders beaten off the underside of the crossbar and away from Gordan Petric. Mortensen got hold of this one and Snelders was happy to see that one come back. Ian Durrant, a good run, difficult to tie down, so elusive in the middle, and it's his pass for McCoist. He's done it again. 2 for McCoist, and that's now 5 for Rangers. The old partnership of Durrant and McCoist working well. Derek McInnes battling for the ball in the middle, and now Peter Van Vossen. He's clear. Oh, and what a lovely finish that is. He really is growing in confidence, Peter Van Vossen. Through the middle, but still with it all to do. The shot had to be tucked away, and he did that beautifully. Andy Gorham joining in the congratulation party. Van Vossen's hat-trick. Here's Charlie Miller. Stuart McCall wanted it. And now McCoist has it. He's through. Off Nielsen. And it's a penalty kick. McCoist was pulled down there in the act of shooting. He did get in the shot, but you can see there that efforts were made to remove his jersey. And that means a penalty kick. And guess who's going to take it? Ali McCoist's hat-trick. So it's 3 for McCoist and 3 for Van Vossen. 7 for Rangers. Yet another Danish attack breaks down. Interception by Petric. More running for Durrant and for Van Vossen. He's already got 3, and now it's 4. Another really cool, calm finish for Peter Van Vossen. He's taken a knock in the process, but he won't mind too much. Happier days for Van Vossen as a Rangers player. And yet again, he really took that perfectly. So it's 8 goals for Rangers. And here comes Erik Bo Anderson. McCoist's in the middle. Erik Bo Anderson doesn't need him. Rattled it inside the near post. So 1 for Bo Anderson, 1 for Durrant, 3 for McCoist and 4 for Van Vossen. This, number 9. Won by Petric, but couldn't quite direct it. Stuart McCall looking for Theo Snelders. Can't get there. And the almost unthinkable has happened. It's a goal for Søren Nielsen. And a goal for Fremad Amager. 9-1 now. There's Pinot. Olsen back to Pinot. Dispossessed quite easily as the final whistle goes. And Rangers on easy street. A 9-1 win. The opposition certainly wasn't special, but Rangers will be well happy with that workout. One player who particularly enjoyed the tour was Brian Laudrup, who, returning to his homeland, did nothing to dampen his delight with life for the Laudrup family in Scotland.
If you listen to my son, how he speaks Scottish, I mean, that proves everything, because I mean, he's so settled. Even my wee girl, she's only 3 years old, and she starts to speak with that Scottish accent as well. And my wife loves it as well. I mean, she has a great relationship with you know, a lot of the players' wives, and I mean, that's so important. We never had that in Italy, so it's a new experience for us, and that's why it makes it so easy to live abroad. I mean, I've always seen Denmark as a paradise, and I was looking so much forward to go back to Denmark. But now I'm not that concerned anymore. I'm just, you know, feeling well to stay in Scotland and hopefully for the next years to come.
This season could be a big one for Rangers. Another league title would take them to 9 in a row, equalling Celtic's record. Rangers held off the challenge of the other half of the Old Firm last season and would dearly love to do the same again.
A lot of people have said to me we shouldn't talk about the 9 in a row and just too much pressure, but I'm looking at it from another point of view. I think you know, we've all got to be focused on going for that and mention it as many times as possible, because that's what we want to do. That's our goal, and you know, if we're all focused on that aim, I'm sure we'll achieve it.
Great campaign last year. We ran out deserved winners in the league. It was Celtic pushed us all the way, but it was a major achievement for our lads that we won the league with a bit of style, if you like. And we're looking to do it again this year. It's not going to be any easier, because Celtic look as though they've made some quality signings. We look as though we've made a couple of good signings as well. And as I said, it's going to be extremely difficult, as it was last year. But we're up for it. Of course, they added incentive 9 in a row. That's going to be another big thing for us that we can hope to achieve and aim for. And that's the way we want to do it. And certainly the desire and the will to win is still very apparent amongst the boys. I can see that.
You can't have too much of success. You always enjoy winning trophies, and I mean, I can't see us not winning a trophy this season, because we've still got, you know, the same players as last year or even the year before. We've added a couple of new signings to it, and we're still very much up for it to continue to win trophies and win games. So I believe that we can go on and be successful.
And it's not just the longer-serving Rangers players who realise the huge significance of the season. Even the new recruits are well aware of the burden of expectation.
In Germany, it's no so much from Scottish football. You know, Rangers is in the Champions League last year, and I see it against Borussia Dortmund. And Rangers is a big name in football, so Paul Gascoigne and Brian Laudrup. So I know about Rangers, yeah, and I'm happy to play with the guys. And I look forward to the season, and the most important thing for me is to win the season and beat Celtic.
And George Alberts, whose nickname is the Hammer, revealed a hidden talent when he was called upon to sing in the traditional initiation ceremony for new team members after the final game of the tour.
For the first time in my life, to see I need love. There I was, jiggling about the games, and I've played with many hearts, and I'm saying no names. But the voice is good, it's done the hurt. I can feel it inside, I can explain what I feel. Oh no, they are never just one per meal. They make believe, pretending that I'm true. Flipping in my lap, it's the same that I love you. It's alright? Is it alright? It's fantastic!
The pre-season tour of Denmark had proved to be successful, not only in preparing the team for the new season, but also in blending the new signings with the existing squad members. It's all for one big target of 9 in a row.
Can't take no more.